Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for that VC panel. Now I get to sit on the couch and I get to just hang out with my besties for 20 minutes on stage. How's the day been going for both of you? I've like barely seen you yet, Raph.
Well, I was emceeing the workshop stage, kind of hanging out over there and seeing what all the cool builders are doing on Ordinals and with inscriptions. Was very good. I had a good workshop. Like I was presenting new protocol features and did some hands-on inscribing and stuff. I think it was well received, and yeah, I'm surprised about the turnout. This is crazy. Like there's so many people here, and like it's packed. It's such a good vibe. I've been talking to many really cool people. Yeah, and it's just the beginning. Like we still have a lot planned. The whole night is planned out. So yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, seriously, thanks for coming. It means a lot to us. How about you, Ordinally?
Pretty amazing day, I have to say. I mean, I've been doing releases for more than 20 years, but all software products, and this is kind of the first conference release that I'm involved in, and it's amazing to kind of see the day coming. Very different dynamic, but really, really a lot of fun. And seeing this crowd come together and where we have come in the last 9 months, really amazing. So yeah.
This is your first time on stage, I think, an Ordinal stage, right?
In the Ordinal space, yes.
Yes, yeah. We love to see it.
I'm not doing the full cypherpunk thing, but just, it's kind of like
a half cypherpunk.
Yeah, I gave up on that. Like being a complete anon is really difficult. Like it's so easy to fuck up. So.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I told Ordinally he was kind of channeling like Casey's crazy chaotic vibe with this look today. I think it's
kind of a lame attempt at that, but
yeah. Love to see it. Yeah, I mean, so I guess should we just start out by talking about the conference and kind of that side of things? Because I feel like, we obviously have the core protocol we can talk about. I think we kind of want to get into that at the end of our time because we're going to bring Raph up as well to talk a little bit about our collection that Ordinals bought Inscribed and did a really great job with. So we'll talk about that after, but maybe let's get into first, how did Inscribing Amsterdam come to be? Like, how did we get to do this? What's the vision? What's the future?
I mean, when we had the idea, it was like, let's just do a conference. We didn't really realize what we were getting into. Like organizing a conference is very stressful. There's a lot of like nitty-gritty stuff that has to be thought out. And like, shout out to our team member Ileana. She helped us a lot with especially all those small things.
Yeah, shout out Ileana. We could not have done this without Ileana.
Like, yeah, she saved our ass. And I think at some point we were very close to not having the conference because stuff was very up in the air. But we rallied and found a really cool location, and now we're here. So probably want to do another one, but I need some rest. I need some sleep. I need to eat something.
He needs to put out the release.
Exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not announced today, but there's a pattern. If you see Inscribing Amsterdam, right, you can kind of see where this is going, and that's kind of the vision that we'd like to inscribe New York, Miami, whatever, Los Angeles,
Singapore, Hong Kong, LA, Nashville,
Sydney,
yeah. We got a pitch for New Orleans the other day too.
Yeah. Let's go at it.
Tulsa, inscribing Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah. So we have a few cities coming up.
There we go.
Worldwide tour.
But yeah, I mean, so the parent company is called Inscribing Atlantis because we wanted to kind of as you said, gonna make it flexible and really the way that we're thinking about this is I mean, anyone who knows me knows I have this esoteric astrology girl meta narrative that I'm imposing on anything, and I think I've successfully infected them a little bit with the mind virus, which is nice. But if we think about this new cycle of society that we're in, and what are the things that if society ended right now, if something happened, what things would an archaeologist thousands of years in the future be able to kind of look to understand our society? And I think one of those things is Bitcoin. It's this huge digital megalithic structure that is downloaded to so many nodes all around the world, and it's this document of a part of humanity. And so, with Inscribing Atlantis, the way we're thinking about it is Well, if they had just inscribed Atlantis, then we would still have some records from that civilization, right? So that's really like what we're trying to do here. And so with that, it's kind of like the cultural part, the conferences, and then, I don't know, we might do other stuff.
No, and I really think like I hope you all have seen the amazing collection that we have put together with, Ordinal Spot Inscribing and Gamma sponsoring our exhibition. But that's kind of also part of the vision, because we see that like bringing people together at events like this and, launching, cool art on Bitcoin is something that goes together very well. And I think I think all of us have, been involved in, one or the other, work with artists. And that's really also what makes it fun. I think it's always important when you work on, like a core base layer protocol, to also be involved in the actual use cases of that, right? So we have, kind of also a vision of this Inscribing Atlantis, helping, launch collections and bring art on Bitcoin.
Yeah, we control the whole stack. Like I do the low-level database and protocol work, and up to the pictures you see here and this event. So yeah, we have control the whole vertical almost.
I know. I was just imposing when Trevor was talking about the like characters in a company. I was like imposing us on it. I was like, does that work? Does that work? I don't know. But yeah, it's nice to kind of. I don't know, I feel like, we've kind of had like the protocol side, obviously that's like a very, we can talk about Open Ordinals Institute as well, I think it's really important for the protocol to kind of like stay neutral and have that sort of like part of it where we know that like, okay, there's the consistent kind of like donations and funding for development on a neutral basis for the protocol, but obviously we love Ordinals too, and we want to, do our own things as well, so it's kind of fun to have like the two sides, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and yeah, Open Ordinals is very important. At the moment, it's funding my work. It's paying for the servers, like ordinals.com. We have a couple of servers. It's paying for my work. And of course, we want to expand it as well. So we're also going to pay it's a former apprentice of Casey's. He was the one who worked on Ordinals before me. His name is Liam. And he is still a student, but he's very familiar with the code base. And like, we're also going to pay him to do like some small PRs here and there. It's easy to work him in. But like also longer term, we want to have like a good development community around it, and like the Open Ordinals Institute like is a good way to kind of fund this and stay like make it neutral and independent of any like for-profit cash flows. Yeah, we're looking forward to do that, and yeah.
We didn't want to go all the way of putting a QR code on the screen, but if you go to ordinals.org, you can find our donation addresses, and this is really what kind of allows the core protocol to stay neutral, to not depend on sponsors and kind of being influenced by commercial interests. So if any of you can donate today, that would be appreciated. And
it's also very cypherpunk. Like we have a 2 out of 4 multi-sig. That's where all the money goes. We only have Bitcoin at the moment, I think.
Yeah, this
Maybe
whole
we have a bank
situation
account
has
at
made
some point,
me.
but like fuck that. Like we want Bitcoin.
We want Bitcoin.
This is a Bitcoin only.
It's kind of dangerous. Like 3 out of the 4 signers are sitting here on stage.
I know.
So
I was thinking that.
it
I was
should be
thinking that.
geographically
Okay, maybe we shouldn't
Do you have your
draw
code card?
attention. But yeah, I know. I feel like such a cypherpunk now with the Ordinals and all this. Yeah. So I mean. We have Open Ordinals Institute. There's kind of certain things. I'm happy that we're like bringing like Liam back as well, because Liam obviously has so much familiarity from working on it with Casey for so long before.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that like.
And
back.
like he's a student, so he can do like small things next to it. But I also want to like get more developers in, so I'm thinking of doing coding streams again. So the way I used to work with Casey, we would chill out on Discord. In the Ordicord, it was most of the time only us two. We would like share our screens and then like code together, which was very good, like because like programming is a lot of tacit knowledge that has to be kind of passed on. That's why we also called it an apprentice. I was Casey's apprentice, or Liam was an apprentice, because it's something that has to be kind of taught to you. And so yeah, we want to like start streaming again, like maybe in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, start a small like stream on the Ordicord maybe, or I don't know where, but just to kind of people can like look at us work, see the tools, like see which files we look at, because it's a huge code base, see just how we work, what our workflow is, and then hopefully it makes more sense to them, like where they can kind of contribute to, like, and yeah, so that's
I can highly recommend that, just from my experience. Like Casey is an amazing teacher. I had like no Rust experience whatsoever. It was one of the things that I wanted to learn, and it's like, it's the best tutoring you can get. And it's a lot of fun, and like in my experience, like if you have attend 1 or 2 or 3 maybe of those sessions, then you have a much easier time to contribute to the GitHub and kind of really get your PR accepted, right? It's nice for us that we have a lot of PRs coming in, but it's also important for contributors to understand like the ethos, the philosophy, the design, the architecture, like, how do we go about building and adding things, and this is a really good way to learn that. So highly encourage everyone who's interested in contributing to the open source space to.
Yeah, I mean, I can second that thought. Like, I learned Rust a year ago, a bit over a year ago. I saw this Casey guy was like, he's working on something cool, but I didn't know any Rust. I sat down for 2 weeks, learned like the basics, and then I just started working with Casey, and like he has like turbocharged my learnings. So it's been really amazing, and I want to give other people the same experience that I had. So give others the same like possibilities, like, because that was great.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who's like watched one of the episodes of Hell Money where Casey's like really deep diving into a technical aspect of Bitcoin or Ordinals or something like that can see what a great educator he is, and he's so good at breaking things down for any technical level. He's so good at answering questions, and also, just shout out Casey. I know he's like watching the Twitter feed and stuff today, so he's like, he's here in spirit as well. But, much love always to Casey, and we're filming all of these too, so he'll definitely watch all the panels.
He's having a little bit of FOMO.
Oh my God, he's having so much
Just a little
FOMO,
bit.
so much FOMO. I want to move now to talking about the protocol. I don't know, Raph, do you wanna come up? So. Yeah, Raph's working on a new release, and we were working with Ordinals bot to inscribe this whole collection, which we've done on uncommon sats donated by them, and we did it all parent-child. So I kind of wanted to just bring you up because I think the release isn't out yet, but I feel like you kind of have now this experience of like working with these like new tools and like finding the edge cases and figuring out like why things are designed the way they are. So I don't know, do you want to share about that at all and like what we worked on together?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, perfect. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thank you for bringing me up. Yeah, it was a few weeks ago now. Erin, jumped in the DMs and asked if we wanted to get involved with it, and of course, we were really happy to do that. I think that we like to stretch our legs and try and see what's possible with the protocol, and I think these guys are going about it in a really smart way, and they're releasing really great features for builders. And yeah, we wanted just to get involved and basically do it for you guys and show that we can do it. And the parent-child aspect of everything and the metadata was just a really cool thing to bring it all together. And we did the grandparent, as we call it, or the top level parent for Inscribing Atlantis. Then we've got the event parent underneath that. Then we've got the collection parent underneath that, and then all 12 of the artwork is inscribed under that one. So really cool kind of a thing to work on for you guys, and really happy to see it up there as well.
Yeah, Raph got to see some like weird deranged hand-drawn diagrams of me trying to explain the hierarchy of like what we're envisioning, because it's intense. Like you have to, if you're doing parent-child and you want to have that tree with one inscription at the top, you really have to plan out how you want to design your collection so that it's all consistent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anybody who's interested in launching a parent-child collection, I'm kind of always just recommending just do a parent above that, just in case, because obviously you've only got one chance to do it. You can't then go like retroactively inscribe a grandparent. So I would definitely recommend anyone doing it just to have that provenance and that history there. You can have it as a company or a grouping, or if you're an artist, this is great to have your own artist inscription that you can then drop collections underneath. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that, and we did that with this. And now you guys can use that parent one for all future events, and it's just you can just link all the way back up to the beginning and look through all previous events. So it's a really cool thing, and yeah, of course we inscribed them all on uncommons as well, so we had to add that extra layer of pizzazz on top. So yeah, really happy with it.
And not only uncommon, no, like so there's the rare sats, that's one of the metas, and then there's also exotic sats, and I mean maybe Erin,
auspicious sats.
yeah, maybe
Auspicious sats, the new alpha. Yeah, we did the like ancestor, like top level inscribing Amsterdam inscription is on an astrologically auspicious sat, which is near and dear to my heart. And our designer Caroline, who actually did all the branding and everything for this event, is all her. She's done such an incredible job with it.
Thank you.
She's really incredible work. she also designed our inscription for Inscribing Atlantis, which is the natal chart of the sat that it's inscribed on. And what a natal chart is just the position of all the planets in the solar system at the time that that sat was born, right? And I think it's the first time that the astronomical time has been linked to Bitcoin block time on Bitcoin. So if you, again, back to that archaeological narrative, if you're like digging up the Bitcoin blockchain and you see this sat that was born at a very specific time, you have that timestamp, you have that block height, and then you see where all the planets are, you can actually trace that back astronomically to figure out the exact time in astronomical or geological time. So that was, that was very, very near and dear.
It's so creative, and it's really like it fits perfectly on Bitcoin, I think. And I just love the different representations of Bitcoin. I think are just beautiful, and I think there's got to be many more to come. You've created the new alpha. I'm going to definitely be a auspicious sat maxi when it comes out and you launch your marketplace or whatever. But we're seeing loads of these new kind of exotic sats coming out. I really love I guess the Rodimer Rarity Index is the official term. That's just really tied into Bitcoin mechanics, and it's a purely beautiful way of looking at Bitcoin. But I think I'm all for just being creative and being fun, and there's kind of no limits to what people might find valuable, So yeah, I think there's got to be many more cool things to come.
Yeah, I love all the like little structures and things you can find in the big megalithic structure that is Bitcoin. Like there's a lot of stuff to.
All comes back to this time chain idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of cool stuff to do, and then there's of course like parent-child, which is like another structure you can build on top. It's like quite a new paradigm. Like many people are confused the first time I talk about parent-child, and then you can have these many different levels of parents, but like. Yeah, like we did it exactly right. Like you always want a top level one, and then you want for each collection you want one, and then you have your children underneath there. But yeah, that's been out in the protocol, but there's also like new features coming out in the protocol. I can maybe tease them a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I've already teased them at my workshop. So I mean, many people have been wanted to have like metadata directly inside the inscription. So we came up with a nice way to incorporate metadata. Also, we chose like a binary format, a very like compact one to kind of save Bitcoin from chain bloat. No, so we have metadata, and then to actually make like parent-child useful. So right now you have to, if you inscribe a parent with a child, it's like one transaction, one inscription. So it's kind of awkward to use. You have to like do it sequentially. We came up with this new idea of a pointer. And I don't want to get into the details, but what this enables is basically batch inscription. So you can have you have one parent, and then in one swoop, in one transaction, you can like inscribe 100 children. So that feature will actually make it practical for artists and for inscribers to actually create transactions, create parent-child transactions. So yeah, I hope to release that soon. I have to write a lot of tests, like in our code base, we focus on a lot of tests, and like people are using this, like many people are using this, so I want to be really sure that everything is right, there's a lot of money hanging on this, so yeah. Hopefully soon. But
you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been very busy.
But I think that's also why I find the, kind of having, the ecosystem adopt this quickly and, kind of work with us to, to showcase these features is something that is also close to our heart, right? It's not just about building the open source protocol, but it's also about working with the with the entire ecosystem. We talked about the VC landscape earlier, right? All these companies being built on top of this protocol. I see that also as part of our mission to kind of work with and enable companies and builders that build on top of this protocol. There's more we will be doing there, but that's something that's also close to our heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have like 1 more minute here. I don't know, any final thoughts, or I don't know, Raph, do you want to, I guess we talked about the new release, but I don't know.
The release, watch out for that, watch out for the stream, always looking for new developers. I'm very excited that this event turned out so well, and it's very cool to see everyone in person, because on the internet you always interact with like random pictures. I mean, I'm a Scooby-Doo on Twitter. So, and then it's really cool to like see people in person. I think the conversation is always better in person. It's more productive, and you get more stuff done, and you take each other more seriously. So I'm really happy to have these in-person events, and I look forward to having more of them.
Yeah. Thanks everyone so much for coming.
Can I just say also? I just want to maybe speak on behalf of everybody to say thank you guys. We're all here because of you. And what you've been doing is absolutely amazing, and we're all literally building these businesses around what you guys kind of brought to us. So thank you so much for that, and really looking forward to see what the future brings.